So, do I know where my kids are as teenagers? Of course. I looked at my parents like, y'all are fucking retarded. But my parents actually were fucking retarded. My husband and I are not. But driving into that driveway that day, with my son in my womb, my whole existence sitting in the back seat, a 6-year-old, innocent, happy, loving little girl who has never seen anything crazy. She's living in a condo in Clear Lake, going to the best schools, and now I'm crossing that threshold back into Pasadena, back into Deer Park, because I thought it would be best for her at least to know his mom. His mom is a wonderful human being and always wanted to be a part of her life. Driving down that driveway that Mother's Day, I instantly felt Tarana Barnes' story. I understood sexual assault in a relationship. Pulling up to the front of that Kermit Frog greenhouse, I saw myself at 17 years old standing there with all of this shit that I needed to give back to him. And it was a 2-fucking-mile walk in August, by the way. I handed him the box. And he wanted to talk. He was actually really kind. I don't go into detail in the book, but I'm going to do it now because y'all really need to shut the fuck up about the Me Too shit right now in Hollywood. Hollywood needs to shut the fuck up. Celebrities should use their platforms for good. They should not use their platforms to sway people one way or another. You should come with facts and let people deductive reason their own reasoning and understanding of what you're saying. Sidebar. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, disciples of Jesus, all went on the same fucking journey with him. Guess what? They all told 4 different stories. So, every time I tell my story, somebody somewhere picks up a different piece of their puzzle. We're all missing pieces of somebody else's puzzle. Once you can figure that out and figure out that life is a circle, there's highs and there's lows. If you're greedy in the highs, then when Mercury's in retrograde and we're in the lows, we're in the waning part of the moon cycle, you should be taking notes. I talk fast. When we're in the waning part of the moon cycle where Mercury's in retrograde, even you dumb people know about Mercury in retrograde, even if you don't know one fucking constellation. Why? Because that's when all the bad shit happens. Guess what? The rest of us that are enlightened, educated, and went to a school that didn't give us a watered down version of any subject, taught us about the circle of life, the birds and the bees, and the balance. Why does this person have so much why did this person have so much control over my life? I'm married, I'm happy, I'm living where I want to live, living my best life. Hold on one second. Y'all carry on, I have to pause. Fuck. This is Teresa.
Hi, Teresa. This is Nicole with Texas 420 Doctors.
Yes.
I was calling to see if now is a good time for us to complete the process with you.
Yes, I recorded my... So, sorry about that. Back to what I was saying. I am now officially the first member of my criminal family to be legally able to smoke marijuana in the state of Texas due to my PTSD. That did happen right there. So y'all don't know, But there was a big pause. The second doctor called, and it's not ironic. I don't believe in irony, but I filled out that application like 30 days ago or so, and they finally called. I knew my appointment was today, but I didn't know anything about the program or the CURT registry or whatever. Each state does it differently, and it's not recreational here in Texas. You have to have one of 13 diagnoses, and they added PTSD finally, and that is what I'm getting emotional because it's a huge. While I'm talking about these huge setbacks in life, this is a huge step forward. Why is smoking weed important to conservative people? Because we like to heal over here. We don't like to live, at least me. Some people thrive in drama. My father was one of those. I actually wake up every day full of life, full of joy, full of love, and just ready to share my story. So while my kids and my family get tired of listening to me, oh, you always talk about the past, because that's how we heal. Again, the theme for today is, in order to heal, you have to deal. And I choose not to participate in Big Pharma anymore. And that's huge coming from me. Somebody who met their insurance's lifetime out of pocket, which was $500,000. I reached that by 32 years old, 10 years ago. And then we lost our insurance because we thrived. Paul and I both thrived during COVID. Oh my God. That was my biggest glow up. His too. And we started playing with the family dynamic. Like, what is this going to be like? Me being openly gay and very open about it, like on all my platforms. He's on dating apps. He's like Kingwood's most eligible bachelor. And we really did it slow. And while some of our kids may think that it was selfish, maybe they still do think it's selfish, they can't deny the fact that I am 100% happy and authentic. Like, when you look at me, I look like what I've always seen in the mirror, or what I wanted to see in the mirror. But what I did see, going back to the topic at hand, is a broken person. Kelly Clarkson has a song, Broken and Beautiful. I'm broken and I'm beautiful. I saw the broken part. All of us see the broken parts. Just like pulling up to that house. If I smell VO5, the gold colored shampoo, not the dark one, but the lighter color, it's very specific. It takes me back to the time that one of the times that I died, had to be taken away by ambulance. I cut my arms really, really bad with an electric clothes shaver over clay. Something clay did. And I was scared. My mom had told me that my dad was writing letters to prison that she wouldn't let me read because they did not fucking exist, and that he was putting a hit out on me and he wanted to come and kill me because she was spending all of his money living with what ended up being my stepdad and his two kids, Stephen and Stephanie, and we're living a whole different life while my dad's offshore. No, he wasn't in prison. He was offshore, making shitloads of money as a chef, and he tries to get off at one of the ports and has no fucking money in his account. Well, Ruben's running around with leather jackets and new swag. My mom was spending all of that money on her new family. And unbeknownst to me, she was telling my dad that I was stealing it to buy Clay extravagant gifts. that was not the case. I would never fuck over my dad. He fucked me over a million times. I just don't have it in me to just wake up and vindictively think about fucking up somebody else's vibe. Like, why do people wake up and do that? I'm asking you all. Because to me, until you're not, I mean, you're guilty until proven innocent. Everyone that I speak to that's outside of my very small circle, we're talking not even 10 people, to get into that circle, it takes you about 15 or 20 years, and even then I put you on probation. Why? Because the people that I was supposed to be able to trust, and they were supposed to protect me, and they were supposed to love me, and feed me, and clothe me, and do all of these things, and raise me to be this amazing thing, right? People risk their lives for the American dream, and I was just born here. They should have tattooed FML across my forehead and just sent me out in the world. Because that's what I said for 3/4 of my life. So I started working on myself after my dad passed away, which was in 2017. I had to. Without my dad's thumb over my life and telling me what to do, waking me up, no matter how far we moved, even when we were in Connecticut. If he just felt like fucking with somebody drunk at night, he would just start at the top and go down, and I was always at the top. And he would throw clay in my face a lot. And he would say a lot of bad things about the way I raised my daughter. My parents actually tried to take Madison away from me a couple of times. And there's a lot of stuff that I did for my daughter, legal and illegal, that she could give two shits about. Do you think that she cares to hear the story about how Clay had to pull up the white carpet in his fucking office because blood and semen were there, and she was probably going to ask one day, and 5-year-olds know what red Kool-Aid on white carpet looks like. That's not what that looked like. Sad thing is, when I was raped that day, and I use the word rape because all of the other times I was sexually assaulted during our relationship, I eventually gave in. I did the whole just let it happen. Because I thought my life would be fuller in any capacity just having him there. Again, I'm lesbian as fuck. But he has very feminine qualities, and I'm not gonna you gotta read the book. He was into a lot of weird shit. So was I. I still am. People are sexual beings. Humans are primal sexual beings. But because I was gay, and he was not, everybody says he was, I don't know. He winded up dressing up like a girl in a band, but I don't like labels. I don't at all. Actually, yesterday at Pride, somebody put a button on me, and I was like, oh yeah, it's Pride, let's go. And then I looked at my girls thing, and I was like, yo, and she's feminine as fuck. And I was like, did we actually read these buttons? Mine said them and they, and hers, and she's very feminine, again. Hers said him and his, he and him, or some shit like that. I'm cool with y'all's pronouns if y'all feel that you need them. And I really do try to respect